I would like to take a moment and read the commentary out of the Jewish Annotated New Testament. This is a New Revised Standard Version, and this is coming out of Oxford. Natzar, a small town about an hour's walk from Sepphoris, spoken through the prophets. Now, this is a problem that we have in validating some of the writings of the New Testament. Matthew's citation is not in the Tanakh. There you have it. It's Bible commentary in the Bible. Nazorian perhaps is an allusion to Nazaret's, or someone being taken up into the Nazarite vow, which is written in the book of Numbers chapter 6, and then also Judges 13, verses 5 and 7. But it's more likely Natzar, the Hebrew word for branch, used in the Messianic prophecy in Isaiah 11:1. Very important that we take the time and invest and read and try to figure out, because this was one of those scriptures that was racking my brain for years, is I could not find this verse at all. And it's really nice to have something in black and white that tells you that you're not crazy, right? And also agrees with many Jewish rabbis who, hey, this is not a prophecy in the Old Testament. Obviously, this can't be true. So we're just going to throw the whole entire thing out. So what do we do with this? We have to understand and know very clearly that the branch prophecy makes a lot more sense than the Nazarite vow prophecy. But we have to ask the question, was Yeshua a Nazarite? Did he ever take the Nazarite vow? Was that something that was on his radar? I personally believe that he was. Having done the Nazarite vow myself, there's a lot of wonderful education that you learn during that time. I've taken 2 Nazarite vows in my life. Now, I recognize and understand very clearly that once you take a Nazarite vow, that unless you go to the temple, that your vow is supposed to continue until you die. This is something that I'm working out because I didn't know that when I first took that vow. So what I ended up doing is, after the vow was completed, I ended up burning much of the stuff and doing exactly what the Torah says in regards to what happens when you conclude the vow. So I have to watch what I say moving forward and fast and pray if I should ever take another Nazarite vow again. It's just something that you learn as you go. And sometimes you find out the hard way. I don't believe that Hashem is mad at me for doing what I did. I felt led by the Spirit to do it. And maybe my leading was wrong. But I have to tell you, the results from the fasting, the results from taking the vow, to me, solidified the education that I had been receiving of knowing who Hashem is, worshiping Hashem only, not worshiping a Messiah. And I've started to see the fruit of change happen in my life, that I've dedicated my whole entire heart and my life to Hashem. And then understanding how the Mashiach walks in that. It's very important. Now, the miracles that happened after that as well were important. Seeing people, praying for them in the name of Hashem, and watching people get up out of wheelchairs or being healed of epilepsy. I have record of the dedication in my heart towards the Torah, which is why I know the Torah is the truth for me. It's a matter of, I heard the word, I performed the action, and the fruit came out. And so did revelation. And so did helping instruct others on why the Torah is so important in our lives. Now, what does this have to do with transfiguration? Excuse me. Going back to our lesson of Chamad and our Nazarite vow, our Nazarite vow is very specific. You cannot have anything and partake of anything regarding the grape. No wine, no grape juice, no flesh of the grape, no seed, no pips of the skin. You can't touch it. And during that time, you have to let your hair grow wild. I'm not going to focus on the hair portion as much as we're going to focus on the grape portion. Now, there's a wonderful metaphor that and pattern that we see throughout the word of Hashem. We see blood, we see water, and we see wine. We can see that Moshe, our blessed memory, was pouring out the water and it turned to blood. And in the New Testament, Yeshua turned the water into wine. What I'm proposing is the Nazirite vow is the refraining from blood, not from partaking in it. Like, please, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about from your own. It's cutting off desire entirely. You're refraining from your own bloodlust, your own everything regarding self. You're cutting it off. And you're not just refraining from it, but you're refraining from whatever else that you vowed to cut off in your life. So at the time, I refrained from yeast or matzah, and I was refraining from grapes. And I have to tell you, it's not a very easy thing, because everything that we have in this modern age has vinegar in it. And vinegar is a type of fermented grape. So cutting all of that off for 40 days, you'll lose weight very fast, because you're not having bread and you're not having, preservative. So all of that stuff gets cut out of your body. You're on a whole different playing field, and you're dedicating your time to Hashem. So that's one of the reasons why I think that Yeshua was not just the Natzar of the branch that was prophesied about, but I believe that he was a Nazorian or taking the Nazirite vow. And this could have happened after he turned the water into wine. And just because he took it, just because he created the water and turned it into wine doesn't mean he partook in it. But it was a wedding feast. I do believe that he partook in it. So whether it's my personal beliefs or not, this is something to fast and pray about together. And I'm all up for correction, as long as you're not, being mean about it or cruel about it. There are some things that are in a person's walk you want to know for certain, and some other things are just concepts, and other things are thus saith the Lord. And this is not one of those moments where I'm saying thus saith the Lord that Yeshua was a Nazirite. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, these are things that I think that we should be understanding as mishpocha if it leads us to transfiguration.